Hello again. Time for another C&C4 replay of the month, brought to you by Gamereplays and vodded by ZodiacHeadlock. Right, this time it's for the delightful month of April. I like to call it Cake Month due to the mass amount of birthdays that occur in this month, including my own. So I've been well stocked on cake. I like cake. I hope you do too. Anyways, right, this replay is actually going to be, as far as I know, the first ever 1v1 VOD for C&C4. You can correct me if I'm wrong and direct me to it, but as far as I know, that is the truth. And it was uploaded by GovNoobofYou, who's playing GDI against H2O on Nod, and the replay this time was suggested by yours truly, because after having a good look at it, there was a lot of good strategic moves in there. There's a lot of crawler switching, a lot of unit switching to these two players constantly countering each other. It's a very, very entertaining match to watch, so I thought, yep, I'm gonna submit this through. There were no other real suggestions, so no contest. It was the chosen replay. So then, let's get on with the show. Okay, another Ice Station Omega game. Yeah, this is a very popular map. Whether it's 5v5 all the way down to 1v1, it's a common choice no matter how you want to look at it. And Noobofyu is going to be starting with offense. In fact, I'm going to speed it up for this time. And H2O also offense and starting in an aggressive position there, sending those raiders out very early to rush the GDI blue, which has only got a single bulldog on there. That's not going to go very well. There's another bulldog, however, going up and takes the Nod blue and detonates it. Both blues are gone. Well, so much for that aggressive opening. Is that... Well, anyway. Not to be defeated, H2O moves his raider and takes the middle uplink and also brings his tanks forward as well, and his crawler, so he's going to be wanting to put more aggression on later. Meanwhile, Noobofyu starts taking nodes around him, and H2O also moving his tanks into the GDI side as well. Green for GDI is in, and a speed boost. That's picked up, and an engineer for the Nod green. There's nothing to threaten it at the moment, so that's fine for now. Noobofyu now moving out of his deploy zone, put the speed up back on. I don't know why I took it off, to be honest with you. Right, while the Nod player is now staying inside this uplink space, his tanks are going to come out a lot quicker than Noobofyu's, so he's going to be able to build up the Avenger count a lot quicker than the Hunters are going to be coming out, but the Hunters intercept the Nod Avengers first and move along the back here into the Nod side to take their node, and just in time for the Nod blue to come in, and it gets intercepted, and he's going to steal the uplink and take that blue. Very nice, and he looks like he definitely got his own blue as well. So when this happens to Nod, it's usually a good idea to start aggressing the GDI crawler, because when I play Nod in 1v1, usually my main target eventually becomes the GDI crawler, so as long as I can put some pressure on that one unit, it will allow me to push GDI back into their own side. However, GDI has tanks on both sides of the map, and Noobofyu keeping a presence in both sides, so even if his crawler does take damage, it won't matter because he won't be falling back and losing ground, because he's got his tanks establishing territories in the Nod side, so it will make very little difference right now. If he loses his crawler, he's got stuff all over the map, including a bulldog which is just out of range of this node there, so it's kind of just sitting there looking pretty. And now decommissioning his crawler after getting a few more hunters out, and a very correct move not to move into the middle and engage the main Nod army, since he's not building at the moment, but the Nod army comes to him instead and chases him out. And he lost another blue. Oh dear. A nice little screw you before coming back into the fight now with tier 2 and redeploys his offense. Actually a good move to get his tank count back up. especially since Nod is still tier 1, the unit of choice is most certainly going to be Hunters still. And the tier 2 GDI Crawler and the Hunters fresh out, the Crawler beelining straight into the Nod tanks, taking down a good number of them. That is what he wants right now. He wants to keep the Avenger count down, and in doing so is able to take back his side of the map in an instant, just in time for his blue to come in, and now there is nothing to threaten it. The same cannot be said for the Nod blue, and it gets blown again. The Hunters, only 2 of them managing to escape out, but they've done the damage they did, what they were sent in there for. Nod has tier 2 regardless, as his green was not threatened. Moves back into the middle uplink. This Crawler is caught alone, and now the GDI mass is coming straight into his face. Though he brings his Avengers back to defend himself, but his Crawler's taken quite a pounding from that, and that's what he wants right now. He wants to be doing a lot of damage to that Crawler. The Avengers, well, even without any engineers there, the GDI player, Government Maneuver View, his Crawler has too much health to really be worried right now, and he does take down H2O's Crawler. Down it goes, and he will be taking the uplink as well, at least neutralizing it. H2O sends his tanks in to take the blue, but no, intercepted again. No blue for you. And tries to steal the uplink for the Hunters, surrounding the tanks there, picking them off one by one, and they managed to chase them out. They retain it. H2O changes to support now. And that should be for hijackers, indeed it is. Because one thing he's going to want to start doing is stopping any GDI macro, or at least use them to keep the Hunters off his tips. That's absolutely nice. They're using the hijackers there to protect that blue, so it is safely escorted in. Well, not escorted, but delivered, just in time for the green. In it goes. The Hunters not going straight into their faces, but being spread out against the hijackers. That will allow them to be picked off if the hijackers go and target them, if he's going to mass them, and the hijackers now take the GDI blue and also the uplink, and well, he's going to need a good few things to stop them. He now has Hammerhead, so evidently he has changed to support. That blue is captured. Bit of a waste of an NG drop, to be honest with you. Hunter gets stolen, green gets detonated, and the hijackers are chased out by the remaining 4 Hunters, and they will get picked off there. That's that. Down goes the Nod macro, but he has brought out Tyrants, and evidently was able to stop the GDI support change. But there's a respawn, the Salamander gets squished, it's a defense now, and GDI Maneuver View has tier 3 getting out the zone captains, targeting the Tyrants straight away. That's exactly right, as the Tyrants are not good against defense at this stage. Crystal Shield going up to stop that first Leviathan, though Crawler was just out of the range of it. Leviathan being a very, very nice choice there against zone captains there. Zone captains cannot do anything to them at all. It keeps them under the Crystal Shield, but the Leviathans do take them down, and keeping the Tyrants near to the Leviathans allows them to fire faster. The drill goes down there, and the Leviathans and Tyrants do manage to destroy the GDI Crawler, and all the zone captains bite the dust. However, GDI still has control of their side. There are Tyrants over here stealing this node, but quickly burrows them to get them away from the Hunters. Nice, but keeping the node count in trying to keep the node count in their own favours. And GDI switches back to Titans to counter the Leviathans, but there are now 5 Leviathans on the field against an even number of Titans. That is not good news for Maneuver View right now, and the Leviathans have the advantage of being able to fly over that area there. One does go down, and another one may follow it as well. It does. In a second, there it goes. And H2O has now changed to defense himself. His Tyrant's still burrowed and moving around. He's managed to keep a few alive, and now getting his High Confessors out. Good choice there. Seeing as Maneuver View has gone back to defense again, getting out of the Zone Raiders to steal some nodes again. Those 2 Hammerheads also wandering about, but those Confessors will keep them from stopping any nodes there. And those hammers may most certainly go down. One of them definitely will. In fact, nope, they both will die. Down it goes. And back to the battle in the middle. Crystal Shield freezing the Nod Crawler. twice in a row. Did not stop that nuke there, but those crystal shields freezing him has stopped any unit production there, allowing those zone raiders to pick off the last Leviathans. Another crystal shield going off, the non-crawler decoms, but the tyrants and the confessors are back in, and the GDI crawler goes down for 50 points. Meanwhile, Nod has been macroing around himself, H2O, and has taken 3 control nodes, though Noob of You is quick to respond with the zone raiders to try and stop any form of macro and attempts to steal the nodes, but the confessors and the tyrants now with the ability to stop that go off and kill the zone raiders, and the crawler is back out. He switched to offense to get specters and will take a 3rd node back after claiming this one back as well. The confessor's just a little out of reach there, but there you go, down she goes. Another zone raider is keeping over there to steal the stuff there, but these specters have been found by the bulldog, but one bulldog alone will not stop the specters, which are just going straight into the GDI side. There are now 2 mastodons there and going straight after the specters, but that one does manage to escape. The engineers on the high ground head back into their half of the map. There's nothing in there, so those mastodons are going to have to move out again to keep themselves useful. 1 spectre remaining there, taking this node back. But 2 hunters and an engineer come straight after them, and very nice keeping the engineer close to the spectre so it cannot fire on them, as a spectre, being an artillery unit, does have a minimum range, so it cannot fire when units get too close to it. Noob of You changes back to support and loses that first Kodiak straight away to the High Confessors, the Tyrants and a heroic commando there. The Mastodons, however, forcing him to keep the distance though, and very nice there, killing a good number of the Spectres and also targeting the High Confessors. That is what he wants to be doing first, is targeting the units that cannot be replaced, but Cyborg Commando loses his legs and Noob of You has to decom that last Mastodon. But what was that there? Was that Sonic O2? No. What was it? I don't know. Anyway. But he now has a good number of Kodiaks up. H2O decoms his crawler, so Noob of You uses the Kodiaks to straight away neutralise the uplink, and then starts wailing away on the Nod army. The Spectre escapes, Commando escapes, the mine drop just missed him, so he'll get away. The avatars both fall, the buggy falls, and GDI takes the uplink. Meanwhile, another buggy plus the Commando back in the GDI side, the last Spectre there, taking these nodes back. The Hunters looking for any macro, still chasing them down to make sure that there are still 3 nodes under GDI possession. The blue was attempted to be taken by that raider, but gets blown on Noob of You's crawler, removing his shield. Kodiak's now chasing down the Commando, and that mine drop, which missed him before, returns to bite him in the arse, and down he goes. And H2O now making the change back to defense to get Reckoners with Slave Confessor mix. Yeah, High Confessors inside a Reckoner will give them an additional defense bonus, I think that's what it is. But one of those Reckoners is not heroic, and Noob going down there on the Kodiaks and missed the Spanners completely, but those Confessors do manage to snipe them off quickly there. One of the Reckoners goes down, and here comes the defense crawler. Those Kodiaks need to get themselves out of the range because they are greened up, and that laser has a pretty despicable reach, and one of the Kodiaks does go down. The other Reckoner is still alive, the heroic one, but both now back to defense. Crystal Shield going up, freezing the High Confessors, while the Zone Raiders go straight to work on that crawler. Another Crystal Shield going up, freezing more of the Confessors. That's nice timing there with the Crystal Shields, and Underminer goes out with a Disruption Tower to protect the Spectre. And both crawlers now taking a mass amount of damage, but oh hello, that Hunter detonates the blue right in front of H2O's face. Down goes the Underminer, down goes the Confessor, and well, both crawlers may get lost here, but the Kodiaks I think will be the difference maker here, because there is nothing that can really threaten them. Ion Cannon missed the crawler there, but that is going to go down. Zone Raider does finish it off. And Noob of You now moving back up to the north. He has 3 nodes now, as he has kept... well, that Reckoner now moving back over to stop the node advantage there, and that Engineer sucks to be him. H2O goes back to offense and gets some more macro units out, but I think it's definitely too late at this point. GDI has more ear nodes than he does. He's also picked up a blue, brings that in to get the quick 20 points, and wins the game. Well, alrighty-ho. I don't think I've ever seen a 1v1 with so many crawler changes just to keep constantly countering each other. That's why I've recommended this one for replay of the month, and, well, I didn't see anybody argue it, so I'd say it was definitely a good choice. It's definitely one to watch, and, well, for anyone who's looking to get into 1v1, well, look these players up. They're definitely on their way up. Anywho, let's have a look at these stats then. Crawlers killed. H2O killing 5 of Noob-View's crawlers, Noob-View returning the favour with only 2 though. But lost 9, so there was at least 4 decommissions and another 3 from H2O. You know, the good thing about 1v1 is that it's easier to tell tell the truth from the stats. But anyway, units killed. Noob-View getting the positive kill death with 109 for 99. A lot of units were built, a lot of units killed in this game from both sides. H2O getting 87 for 116, so taking the negative kill death there. Support powers, both of them ended up going support for a short while, both using 3 powers each. And this was the structures. H2O spent more time as defense, I think, but also built a good few more structures, but many were taken down by those Kodiaks. But yeah, I definitely like the use of the crawler switching from both these two players, keeping the thing completely fresh throughout. You never knew what they were going to try and counter each other with, though in some cases there could have been some better choices, particularly from Noob-View when he went for the Titans against the Leviathans, because Paladins would have been a far better choice, as the Leviathans cannot lay a finger on them, so to speak. Whereas the Titans did manage to take a few down, but they were getting killed quicker than the Leviathans were, particularly due to H2O using that high ground advantage there, so he can easily retreat them over that, because they can fly. There is no obstacle to the Leviathans there. Well, yeah. Leave your comments on Gamereplays. We'll see what everybody thinks of it, and we'll see you next time round for the next replay of the month. And now it is very late. I'm going to go to bed after I upload this thing. ZodiacHeadlock signing out. Sayonara.